What's going on, everybody? It's Spazly again. Today, I'm going to give you a video on how to get started streaming on Twitch. The first bit of advice that I can give you is to have a decent PC setup. This primarily means having a decent CPU and also a video card that can keep up with some of the demands of OBS software. You will need to download OBS software as a precursor to this. You will need a Twitch account, and this is an easy thing to set up if you don't have one already. As I was saying before, you will need OBS software to get started streaming on Twitch. I will have the link below so you can follow that and get the installer done. The second bit of advice that I'm going to give you is to go to speedtest.net. I will also have this link below, and test your internet connection. On a side note, I do have a fiber internet connection, so my upload speed is much faster than the typical internet connection. If you have a good download speed, which 100 megs a second is a good download speed, and a decent upload speed of at least 6 megs a second, you shouldn't have any problem streaming on Twitch. To get started, we're going to go over here to Sources, and then we'll right click, go to Add, and then Display Capture. We're going to go ahead and create new. You can name it anything that you want here, but I'm just going to keep it as the default for now, and then hit OK. All right. And if you have a multiple monitor setup, you should be able to see both of them here. But typically, the first one that pops up, display 1 or display 0, is your primary monitor. So we're going to hit OK. If you have a monitor that is actually bigger resolution than 1920 by 1080, you can fix this as you see the red bar right here, and then hit Control, hold Control, and hit F. That fits it to the size of the screen. And after that, we can hit the lock button. So if you have a webcam, we're going to add that now. So we're going to go to Add on Sources once again, and then we're going to go to Video Capture Device. And I'm going to leave this once again as default, but you can change it to whatever you want, and hit OK. Now, I do have a capture card, so you will need to go to Device and then pick your webcam, which will pop it up just like this. And for the cause of expedience, I'm going to leave it in this box frame. Okay, so we have our webcam here, and we can drag it wherever we want on the screen. One way that we could make this a little bit smaller is just by grabbing one of these square pegs on the corner and then dragging up. So you can make this as big or as small as you want. And if you have it where you want, you can hit that lock button again, or you can just leave it as is. So moving on into the next point of the video, we'll need to figure out where you're streaming from. So we're going to go into Settings, and inside of Settings, we'll only need to change a couple of things. But first is Stream. So we're going to use a stream key. This is one of the simplest ways to do it. And it'll pop up this link right here. Now that we're back on our Twitch account, we're going to go into the top right where you see your username and click down. And then we're going to go to Dashboard. Under Dashboard, we're going to go to this left column. And under Settings, we're going to hit Channel. Once you've hit Channel, you'll see Primary Stream Key at the top. Now, what you're going to want to do is just hit Copy. Once you have this copied, you go back into OBS and paste that into the Stream Key link. And we're going to go ahead and hit Apply. All right. So the next step is Output. And for ease of use, we're going to keep it under Simple. For video bitrate, under Streaming, if it's set to 2500, 2500 is okay if you're going to be streaming in 1280 by 720. I would suggest, if you have a decent internet connection, to bump it up to 3500. Hit apply again. And we don't need to change anything from here. If you have any recording preferences, you can change that in this section, but there's no need for it as long as you're just going to be streaming on Twitch. We can keep the audio set exactly as it is. If you have a preference on sample rate, you can change it from 48 to 44.1. I recommend 48. Under video here, it's going to be set by default to 1920 by 1080, and the output scaled resolution will be 1280 by 720. This makes it easier for you to stream and a lot easier on your system to where your performance is not being punished. Now, one thing that you may want to change if you're trying to stream a first-person shooter is your common frames per second. So it's going to be set up automatically to 30, but you may want to change it to 60. And this just makes it easier on the eyes for the people watching your stream. So for this reference, we're gonna change it to 60. Now, this is also assuming that you have a decent upload connection speed, which would be above 5 megs a second. Hotkeys, there's nothing that we need to do here, and also in advanced, the only thing that I would suggest to change in advanced is your process priority. I would change it from above normal to normal. This just makes it a little bit easier on your computer, unless you have a very high-end computer. We're gonna hit apply and then OK. So as you can see, we've got our setup here and we're ready to stream. The only thing that we have to do now is hit start streaming, and then this video will actually start streaming to our channel. There are a few other things that you could add here, such as a microphone or different desktop audios. So for this purpose, you can go to settings and audio, and for desktop audio device, you can change that to whatever you want. I have a very complicated computer, so I have a bunch of different choices here. But for my headphones, I'm just going to pick that, which would be the ROG 7.1. And then for my mic, I would go to my Yeti microphone and hit apply. Okay. So now you can see that it's picking up my microphone, and it's also got my desktop audio. So if I play anything, just as a reference here, you'll see that it's gone off. All right, so we're completely set up and you're ready to start streaming on Twitch. I wish you a ton of luck. And if you like this video, if it helped you out at all, please hit that like button in the bottom. It just helps me out. If you need any help with anything else, please feel free to comment in the section below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I possibly can. But thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.